My framing material's just arrived. Let's go get it. So I've gone around the perimeter. Every 1200mm I've dropped in some 80mm anchors. They're temporary restraints just so that I can actually get the plate in. The idea is afterwards I'll come back with some Simpson strong tie bolts, kind of 150mm I think, drop them between on 1200 centres again, in between the plates, a couple more at the front, a couple more at the back. But yeah, multiple plates in so that they're actually take out any undulation in the actual brickwork, and then the frame will go on top of that. So, flushed at the plates, front and top and back, bottom. I'm going to basically just set my lines. One thing you should kind of always do is go off the same reference face. You can find yourself with the least brave one. Actually pretty straight. It's got a bow in it. Okay, so it's time for me to start sticking this frame up. I've stuck a couple of legs on the side. And the idea is that I'm going to drag this to the edge. I've also shot a string line. Huh? Run a chalk line the entire length of the actual plate. That mainly just gives me a nice straight edge to drop this plate into. And then what I'll do is I'll basically plumb and level this once it's standing up. And then I'll come back, nail it off, and afterwards I can come back and put the through anchors into the block. I'll get it lifted first. Now, can you? Here we go. I will need to use that though, so can you knock that over that way a little bit? It needs to go towards you. Sorry, it needs to go to the edge of the board. Yeah. Yeah, the frame. Right, can you hold it there a second? Right, move this over.
Recording?
I am, yes. Right, I've got it. Yeah. You have for once. Can't see that. Right, drop that down, please.
Where to where?
It needs to go flush with the side of this bottom plate. I've got this. You can.
What do you mean?
Push it all the way down.
Keep going.
Yeah. Bit more.
So it's vertical?
No, not till it's vertical. So it's in line with that.
Where? Oh, this thing here?
No, this is that's got to basically fix into the plate.
Oh, okay.
But I need to,
there, then.
yeah, I need to check if it's level, which is not. There it is. Can you run the screw through there?
Is the right thing?
Yeah. Good stuff.
I'm slipping.
So just, and ooh, God, you gave myself a vasectomy. Right, and you're gonna have to come this side and do the same. Essentially, do is get this right. Hold on. No. So, there we go. I'm plumb.
Where's the wood so far out here? Was it not clean?
Push. And now I can come back, nail off. Okay, so the second part of the frame is done. I've run some sill sealer on the bottom plate. Just went around with a hammer tacker and a roll of expansion foam. The idea now is to basically get it up and onto the wall. This is super light, so it's not too bad at all. If I drop this one super close, I can actually just, what I'm actually going to need to do is square this off. And right, I'm going to use. So to connect the two walls, I'm going to use some construction screws. They are like the GRK ones. These are ProStruct. GRK don't sell in the UK. They're Torx head, like basically waffle head, with the actual extra pull-out retention kind of section there. I'm just going to run them. I need to make sure this is plumb that way, and then I will be dropping these through to fix the two frames together. What? Yep. I have forgot my battery. God's sake. There's one over there. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so I need to come this way. Fraction. You'll be okay in a minute. Good, good. Yeah. Let's get this started off. And I'll come back and oh. What? Right, so it's time to do the front wall here. I'm not going to bother measuring it too much. I've flushed it up at the back. Right, so for this front plate, I flushed it up at the end. I scored it, just going to square it off. And then I'm going to take both over to the chop saw and do one cut. So I've just pulled some layout. My king and my jack fall perfectly there, which means if I obviously pull 40 there, I'm going to be pretty close. Where's my square? I'm going to be pretty close here. So I'm going to have to do 40, 80 there. If I drop those on there. And then I can just drop a stud at the end here. So this one's going to be slightly smaller than a standard 600, but every other one is going to be on a 600 centre, 24 inches.
Now we gotta put that in.
So now I'm setting crowns upwards, up, over the wall, where the wall. I'm putting my king foot and my jacks up here. Yeah. What I'm actually going to do as well is I'm going to drop these ones in and I'll come back and nail them off at every 6 inches or so. 150mm for metric users. You might have noticed as well there's no ends attached. That's mainly because I've got that wall's in the way and there's a support there for the bracing. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm putting the headers right at the very top. That's so I can have a transom in for let some extra light in. Whoa, whoa. So I made the mistake of running 90mm nails. These are only 38mm studs. What I've done is I've gone along and clinched all of the actual nails off, just folded them over, just so that they don't snag on anything. Obviously they'll be inside the wall cavity anyway, so it's not too much of a deal. Yeah. I don't actually have the window yet, so I'm going to just frame this as a normal solid wall. And I'll come back and reframe the rough opening afterwards. Right, so what I've actually done is I've set nails here, here and here, and the idea is basically I can actually just rest the OSB on top of that. I appear to have been stung. So I've got these two corners nailed off. I need to put another piece of CLS in. I'm slightly short on the way the corners fell. Not easy because of the way that there's all these nettles going over. I go here. I'm basically nailed at all of the plates about every 6 inches. Infield, I'm also nailed every foot or so, probably more like 8 to 10 inches. And yeah, I need to tidy this corner up. I'll have to trim this off once I've got the gable end on, well, like the shed roof on. And yeah. So all the sheathing is up except for that bit there, because I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the transom, and there's some strips I need to cut at the very top, and I put my second top plate on, because basically it's just shy of a full sheet. Next I've got to do rafters, and I can do the front and the back and get the purlins and roof off.
She's copying you now.